Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So a lot of people were confused by Trump's 4 executive orders yesterday with no talk of stimulus checks or hazard pay. So the reason for the 4 executive orders is because those are the things that the Democrats and the Republicans could not agree on. So there was negotiation after negotiation, meeting after meeting, and no agreement. So I guess Trump was thinking that there's not going to be an agreement anytime soon, and he felt like he needed to put the money in the pockets of the unemployed and the people who need it the most. But the reason for no talk of stimulus checks is because that is something that both sides agree on. We will be getting a stimulus check, and I'm going to show you guys the timeline of when we can expect to see our second stimulus check. But what about hazard pay? Is that still on the table? Is that still a possibility? Okay, so hazard pay is one reason why the delays, why they can't come to an agreement. I'm going to tell you guys why. So Nancy Pelosi wants her HEROES Act bill passed. She's not budging. She wants this bill passed. And in this bill, they want to give essential workers, I'm going to show you guys the long list of people who are considered essential workers in just a second. They want to give all essential workers $13 an hour extra on top of what you already make, retro paid all the way back from January 27th when this all started until it's all over, with a max benefit of $25,000. So if you do the retro pay math from January 27th, our first check would be anywhere from like $12,000 to $18,000. And that's a lot of money for a lot of people who are considered essential workers. But also in that bill, there's a lot of things that will never pass in that form. That's the holdup. So even though essential worker pay is excellent, that's great, a lot of people who need this money would really benefit from it. In the bill, Nancy Pelosi wants to give every illegal immigrant in our country a $1,200 stimulus check. I did the math a while ago. It comes out to be around $4 billion. So that money should go for us, people who need it in America, the United States. Nancy Pelosi is basically saying, you're here in our country illegally. It is against the law for you to be here, but we want to reward you by giving you $1,200 checks that should actually go to the American people. Now, do you think Donald Trump is going to pass that bill? I would rather do without hazard pay than give illegal immigrants a reward for being in our country illegally. That money should be for us, for veterans, for any American that needs it, not for illegal immigrants. So let me show you guys the long list of people who would benefit from essential worker bonus pay. Okay, let's take a look at the long list of what they consider essential workers. And if you guys haven't seen the 1,800-page bill, I will link it down below. But in the bill, it said specifically, if you had the chance to work from home, if you worked from home, you would not qualify for essential worker hazard pay. So I'll give you an example. The reason why I've really been following this, I work in pharmaceuticals, and when this all happened back in March, a lot of people were worried. Everyone in my company said, can we work from home? The answer was no. You have to come to work. You're an essential worker. The government considers you an essential worker. You're coming to work. So I have been following this because I would qualify for essential worker hazard pay. So let's take a look at who else would qualify. So it says here first responders, healthcare professionals, pharmacies, medical testing, groceries, if you work in a store, a convenience store, a restaurant, food production. So here is the long list. Basically, the bill said, because I read it line for line, even if you had to work around just a bunch of coworkers and not even like customers, you would still be considered an essential worker. So is this a done deal? No. Is it off the table? No. It is still a possibility. I'm really hoping that they can come to some kind of an agreement to actually get this portion of the bill passed. So there's a lot of good things in the hazard pay in the HEROES Act bill, but there's a lot of really, unnecessary things like the $1,200 for illegal immigrants. So now let me show you guys the timeline of when we can expect to see our next stimulus check. Okay, so let's take a possible look at the timeline of when we can expect to see our second stimulus check. If you guys remember back on March 25th, the date that the Senate actually passed the bill, it passed the House the next day. It was signed the day after that, and the first checks were sent out just about 19 days after that. So let's take a look. Here is the HEALS Act, and they want to give us $1,200. So the proposal date was July 27th. Negotiations began the same day, and there was a deadline. The deadline was August 7th. So let's see. If the Senate passes the bill, let's say if the president doesn't sign it until, let's say, August 17th. So the first checks could be sent out the week of the 24th. That is if they get the bill signed by August 17th. So that's what I'm hoping. Maybe the worst case scenario is they're sent out next month on the 21st, but it's not going to take that long. I really don't see it happening. The pressure is on. People want these stimulus checks. So I do think that the checks will be sent out the last week of this month. Okay, guys, to sum it up, really important to know also is that we will be getting another stimulus check. And do you guys remember the hassle last time? Like the IRS did not have our information, they didn't have our bank account information. I do believe this time will be a lot less hassle. Things will go smoothly. Worst case scenario, if they don't start sending out checks until the last week of this month, we may still see the checks in our bank account the first week of September. Good news, good news. And also, I'm feeling more positive about the hazard pay because for the longest time, this was like off the table. And now it's in every news article, everywhere that I'm reading. Like these are the details that I was telling you guys about. $13 an hour, retro paid from January. And Nancy Pelosi is not budging. This may very well pass. So if you are an essential worker, whatever you do, grocery store, food service, I truly believe you deserve this. With that being said, if there's any more updates, I will make a video ASAP. So if you are new to my channel, please take a second to like this video, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.